Well, we're off to a beautiful start this morning. This is our Sandia Crest Cam, and you can see we're starting to see the first few rays of sunlight this morning. Gorgeous sunrise, but chilly out.
The winds are fairly light, but anytime that breeze blows just a little bit, it really feels cold.
We have needed the snow. Albuquerque has needed the snow. We've had the longest stretch since 1920 without any snowfall during the wintertime for the metro area, and that certainly came to an end last night.
Get ready for the wind. In fact, you may want to use a little bit more than hairspray. I don't think that's going to do the trick today. Maybe some mint, more like it to hold the hair down, because it is going to be a mess out there. Today and tomorrow looking gorgeous, and definitely a good time to do the layer thing, because you're going to need the layers as you head out the door this morning, but later on today, definitely shedding them. Look at this. This just came in actually. Raton, gusts near 80 miles an hour. This is very dangerous. If you don't have to be on the roads, do not be on the roads when we have winds like that, especially up near Raton. It is getting really treacherous up that way. Flash flood warnings in effect right now for Otero County. That goes until 8:45 in the morning. Specifically, there have been reports of flash flooding along Highway 54. That is in this area right here. You can see the road just south of Alamogordo, and it's right by Oliver Tree State Park. In fact, radar has indicated that more than 2 inches of rain has fallen in that location. In fact, 2 inches of rain perhaps in the last 45 minutes. So that's a lot in a little amount of time. What we have here is a big cold front moving through, wind funneling through the canyon. As it converges, it really speeds up. So the mouths of the canyon, that's where we'll see probably the strongest winds. But this front's so strong, a lot of cold air, it's going to be spilling over the mountains, over top of the mountains. So what that means is you're going to have the winds rushing down the mountains. A lot of times we see the stronger winds on the other side, the east sides of the mountains. But this time, because we're going to have all that cold air rushing down, it's going to gain momentum, gain speed.
The roads are looking a lot better than they did last night. Snowplows were out all night last night. There were 3 crashes here right around 8 o'clock this evening, right along I-40. That really just brought traffic to a halt for a couple of hours, according to one of the truckers I talked to, but things are picking back up again, and a lot of them say they're about to head out on the roads. They're just going to be really careful because there are definitely still some icy spots out there.
The winds typically do try to die down, especially as we get closer to the sunrise, which is happening right now, and they're sending what's called pie balls up, and those are weather balloons, and they have a balloon. It's a balloon with a little instrument attached to it that detects the wind speeds and the weather up aloft. So they're going to keep sending those up to determine what the weather's doing, and as soon as those winds calm down, I bet you they're going to say it's a go. And I think they're just a hair too strong right now, so it's really close, so I'm going to be optimistic. Good morning. Welcome to Two Casa this morning. Matt's still trying to get a date.
Flirting workshops,
Very
if
unique
you
thing.
take the class, are you guaranteed to get a date afterward? That's what I want to know.
I think the bottom
He needs
line,
the full guarantee.
Hey, there's so many things to enjoy with the big game this Sunday. The football, the funny commercials, and of course the food.
You get a little chicken wing in there. Big game on Sunday. David Romero's
Your
on
arms look like chicken wings. Tonight, early tomorrow morning is going to be really the prime time to make some headway on that fire, so hopefully it will happen. Let's talk about the weather now around the area, and you can see here in Albuquerque, the moisture is even a little bit better. We're at 13% right now, 87 degrees out, winds out of the west-southwest at about 8 miles an hour, so the wind's not too bad. Some cloud cover out there because of a little bit of an increase of moisture. We're seeing a few showers up to the north, and relative humidity anywhere from 25 to 35% over eastern New Mexico, and this is heading to the west, so down towards Silver City and in the Gila, we're seeing relative humidities higher than yesterday, but still in the single digits. Well, easterly winds going to bring in some moisture there, and that's going to help things out, and the winds are going to stay light. Look at the winds right now. Southeast winds at about 5 miles an hour, 5 to 10 mile an hour winds. They'll probably be even lighter as we go through the night, and even across the east, the winds have died down from earlier. We're seeing 10 to 15 mile an hour winds. So Silver City right now, it is on the hot side, 90 degrees. We're looking at a relative humidity of 8%, but looking at the forecast models, looks like late tonight through early tomorrow morning, we could see the relative humidity get as high as maybe 30, even 40% before daybreak tomorrow. So that's certainly good news. The winds will be light, so hopefully, again, those firefighters can make some headway before it tries to dry out a little bit tomorrow. Here's a look at the fire forecast, and we're going to be looking at temperatures back into the high 80s again tomorrow. Winds will switch directions. That's going to dry things out again tomorrow afternoon. Still a little bit more moisture than what we've seen today. We'll see southwest winds about 10 to 20, so winds slightly higher, 10 to 20% relative humidity, and of course it will be hazy in Silver City. Temperatures around the state right now, We're in the mid to upper 80s in the southeast, 73 in Ruidoso, 87 in Albuquerque, and we're in the upper 70s and low 80s. So it's still pretty warm out, but you are getting a break from the extreme heat out across eastern and southeastern New Mexico. A few spot thunderstorms in and around Las Vegas and over in the Sangre de Cristo Mountains. Those are pushing down to the south. Really not a lot of rain associated with those because we just have such little moisture to work with. For tonight, mainly clear. Those storms will fizzle out. We'll be looking at warmer conditions moving back in tomorrow. Still close to where we were today for the east, so you won't see that extreme heat, but get ready for it again as we go into the weekend. We'll watch for the chance for a few spot thunderstorms in far northeastern New Mexico and in the east central parts of the state, and maybe even a few spot storms along the central mountain chain tomorrow afternoon. Still won't see much rain, if any at all, from those storms that do develop, and temperatures will continue to run very hot and high on the western half of the state. Saturday gets even hotter, and the winds pick up a lot for your Saturday. We could be looking at gusts between 35 and maybe 40 miles an hour across a lot of the state. Winds die down Sunday, but the heat sticks around. We're in this really active weather pattern where we'll have a couple of days of nice weather, then the next system hits, bringing in wind, some rain and snow, and of course the cold. And we have another one headed our way this weekend, but for today and tomorrow, really nice as far as seeing the sunshine, not dealing with the wind, but cold out there.
Yeah, it is
cold. It's really chilly out this morning, but the storm train does roll on, so let's talk about that now. Next system heads our way this weekend. Saturday morning, that system heads our way. This one's actually going to have more of an impact as far as the precip goes, the snow for the Four Corners and the northern mountains. So the best snow chances across northern and western parts of the state. Western high terrain, maybe some rain, and then up in the northwest up to near Farmington, looking at scattered snow early on Saturday. Windy, though, across the entire state, and of course the cold will move in across most of the state as well. And it's going to be a pretty quick hitter. A slight chance we may get a little rain here in the metro area, maybe mixing in with some snow if it's early enough on Saturday morning. But again, a quick mover, so we're not going to see a whole lot out of that system. The next storm system heads our way after this one on Monday. This one's going to be a little bit farther south, and there's actually a cold front that it may combine with to get another blast of that chilly air to get some snow going. This one's going to be a quick hitter as well, and that will continue to move on out of the state. We'll have a few more days of nice weather, and then right now, this is kind of far out, but it looks like another storm system could be heading our way next Saturday. And as of right now, the models are tracking this a lot farther south and actually could favor the Gila and the Sacramento Mountains, and then even bring in some rain across the Southern Valley. So we're going to be looking at a pretty active weather pattern here. We still really need the rain or the snow any way we can get it. So hopefully we can get it here as these next few storm systems approach the area. But for today, tomorrow, really nice out despite the cold. We're going to be looking at temperatures slowly climbing this morning, but right now 4 degrees in Alamosa, 18 in Taos. We're at the freezing mark at the Sunport, 19 in Santa Fe, and then down in the southeast, low 30s. So a cold start. Santa Fe starting off at 19 degrees this morning. Upper 40s to the north. That's where we'll top out today. Still a little bit below average across the state. 56 in Albuquerque, and then upper 50s down in the southeast. Tomorrow will be warmer before that next system heads our way.
All week long, meteorologist Kristen Van Dyke has been warning us it was going to get dangerously windy today, and already it's looking like that.
Oh yeah, we're talking springtime winds, those dangerous winds. Fire danger is going to be an issue, but right now we're talking damaging wind already developing up in northeast New Mexico. High wind warnings have been issued all up and down the central part of the state. That goes for the central mountain chain and then just east of the central mountain chain. Basically, we're going to have these winds coming in from the west, and so what happens is as they go up the mountains and they travel back down the other side, they pick up a ton of momentum. So places from Las Vegas through Raton and Mora, those areas are going to be dealing with some damaging wind. We're already seeing that there, and as we continue to see this disturbance that's developing to our north, that's going to mean we're going to see these winds pick up a little bit farther south, all the way down towards the Sacramento Mountains as we go through the rest of this morning and into the afternoon, and we're going to be looking at that potential for dangerous winds there. Latest wind gust from Raton now up at 79 miles an hour. Just a few minutes ago, saw a gust up near 82 miles an hour. This is hurricane force winds, and this is consistent and steady up in that Raton area. So really, you do not need to be near there if possible. Driving along I-25, I know that's a commonly traveled path up to Colorado, but you definitely need to avoid that area if possible. Winds are going to continue to stay very strong through the morning into the afternoon there. Las Vegas winds are picking up there too. Winds there gusting to around 52 miles an hour. Sustained winds have been between 55 and 65 miles an hour up in Raton. Las Vegas seeing sustained winds up near 40 miles an hour. So this is where all the dangerous winds are happening right now. As for the rest of the state, State, wind speeds are fairly light for now, but winds are going to pick up across the board. We're just going to see the most dangerous winds along the east slopes of the central mountain chain, and then again just a little bit east of there. There is a little bit of snow to talk about. You can see some snow shower activity trying to develop over in the San Juans of Colorado. We'll continue to see that develop as the disturbance continues to get better organized over that way. We have winter weather advisories over in the town of Durango, and then winter storm warnings for parts of the San Juans up that way, where we could pick up 6 to 12 inches of snow. As far as northern mountains here in New Mexico go, we're starting to see a little bit of light snow up in our South San Juans. Sangre de Cristo Mountains, not really seeing much now, but as we go through the afternoon and evening, overnight tonight, we are going to continue to see that snow develop, and we could see maybe 3 to 6 inches of snow for the Sangre de Cristo Mountains, so that would be for our ski resorts there, so looking a little bit better there. Snow showers, again, will stay mainly up in Colorado, but we'll see a little bit of that activity across far northern New Mexico. For everybody else dealing with the wind, temperature-wise, it will be very warm with this westerly wind, especially out in the east and southeast. Highs in the 70s and 80s there. Snow will continue to develop as the system continues to track back to our north, so we'll continue with the snow showers across far northern New Mexico as we go through, especially again tonight and tomorrow. And then the winds are going to continue to stay very treacherous for us tomorrow. In fact, the winds could be even stronger tomorrow than what we're dealing with today. So that's going to be the big story. As far as the storm track is concerned, it's drawing in a lot of moisture from the Pacific. Quite a bit more than what we have seen lately. Up in the Colorado San Juans, we could see a foot or more of snow by tomorrow. That snow is just now really starting to get going there. As far as the northern mountains go here in New Mexico, the San Juans in New Mexico, South San Juan, 6 to perhaps 12 inches of snow. West-facing slopes are going to be favored out of this scenario. And then you get over into the Sangre de Cristo Mountains, and again, we could see 3 to 6 inches of snow, especially favoring those west-facing slopes. That will be from this storm system, but we're not done yet. As we go into the weekend, another storm heads our way. This one will track a little bit farther south. It's going to bring in more moisture. It's going to have more energy, and that's going to mean the possibility of 8 inches or more of snow up in our northern mountains. So certainly some good news there. And then early next week, we may get some of the shower activity down across central and southern New Mexico. Out there right now, 27 in Santa Fe, 32 in Albuquerque, and in the low to mid 30s down in the southeast.